Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, I want to defend the title of this video right away because it is not hyperbole. It is the fact that I believe that a right which you have to pay for and then ask government's permission for and then prove your worthiness before you get to exercise is not a right at all. And unfortunately, that's what House Bill 1163 intends on doing, what is supposed to be your inalienable Second Amendment rights. Well, Washington, the clock is running out on us. We have very, very little time to do anything about it. And candidly, the last day you really got anything to do about it is day after tomorrow, Tuesday, March 25th. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about this is your last chance, Washington, to preserve your gun rights. Okay, hey, before we get going too far down the road we're going down, proud to announce that this video is being brought to us by Brightside Mortgage. That's right. Check them out and our good friend Steph and Ryan over there. Why Brightside Mortgage? Well, listen, they're not your big box mortgage operation. They are a small boutique, service-driven, relationship-driven mortgage operation. What you're going to get with Brightside Mortgage that you don't get from the big box stores is pretty simple. You're going to get honesty, you're going to get integrity, and you're going to get a relationship that matters because you need to trust that relationship. They are going to underpromise and at the same time overdeliver. Listen, whether you're buying your first house or you're ready to refinance or it's time to downsize or you're looking for investment properties or whatever it may be, you definitely need somebody who's going to help you navigate this crazy market. And listen, if you're going to have an important business relationship, wouldn't you rather have it with somebody who shares our values? And that's the reason I really want you to check out Brightside Mortgage today. For more information, you can check them out in the description box below, or easier yet, just scan that QR code. For more information, visit my good friends at brightsidemortgage.net. Okay, Washington, this is what we are talking about. We are talking about House Bill 1163, the permit to purchase, the mandatory not only education, mandatory training, mandatory live fire training before you get a permission slip to purchase a gun. And by the way, all of you CPL holders moving forward or anyone interested in getting a concealed pistol license, that mandatory training, including live fire training, will also be included in that package as well. We know that this bill already passed out of the House strictly on party lines. The Republicans made a lot of feverish efforts to add amendments. All of them were summarily denied and rejected by the Democratic Party. It has now moved over to the Senate. It is before the Senate Law and Justice Committee, chaired by this person right here. But listen up, Washington. There is a public hearing bright and early Tuesday morning, March 25th at 8 a.m. So this Tuesday, March 25th, 8 a.m., the Senate Law and Justice Committee. This is really going to be the last time that the public can be heard about this piece of legislation. Now, we're going to put all sorts of information down below in the description box. So whether you want to just sign in opposition, you want to sign in with written testimony, or you want to sign in and testify live, you will have all the options. But please, Washington, I'm asking all of you, exercise one of them. Even if it is merely, I just want to sign in and state my name in opposition and that's it, we will take anything you got. Now, here is a piece of good news, if you would. I know that we seem like we're out here completely on an island out here in Southeast Alaska, that nobody on a national level really cares about what happens in Washington, and there's a lot of truth to that, okay? But one of the things that I know many of you have talked about also is the fact that it doesn't seem that any of the large national 2A organizations spend any time on the folks here in Washington or pay much attention to what's going on here in Washington, as they have systematically in the last 8 to 10 years just stripped our Second Amendment rights. And there's a little bit of truth to that as well. But I am happy to announce that at least one of these groups right now, the National Association for Gun Rights, has taken not only a real interest in what's going on with House Bill 1163, but this whole permit to purchasing scheme that we're seeing pop up in these civilian disarmament states. Yeah, it seems to be an issue that's got the folks over at NAGR pretty worked up. And so they're going to be joining us Tuesday morning down in Olympia, and they're going to be delivering thousands of petitions from lawful, responsible, gun-owning Washington residents in opposition to House Bill 1163. And if you want to show the folks at NAGR some love, or you just want to sign their petition, all the links to do that are down below in the description box as well. Okay, and then for any of you who still don't quite understand how offensive this legislation is, or any of you who may be ambivalent or have friends who may be ambivalent, the best way to illustrate to another person what is occurring with House Bill 1163 is to simply write down these words on a piece of paper. You must first pay the government and then get government's permission through a license after you prove your suitability before you can buy a gun. Okay? Because I think that very much sums up exactly what this piece of legislation would do. Now, to illustrate this, all I need you to do is just take the last 3 words off the back, right? Buy a gun. And then replace it with anything else that is a constitutional right, like vote, speak freely, go to church, be free from unreasonable government searches and seizures, get a lawyer, not have to testify against myself, be free from cruel and unusual punishment. And you would sit there and say, no, that is absolutely, totally ridiculous. And then, of course, let us not forget that there is a Senate joint resolution kicking around in Olympia right now that if it were passed, the Washington State Constitution would be amended to include this as a constitutional right under Washington State constitutional provisions. So ask anybody who may be in support of this, how would you feel if the law said that? Okay, it is House Bill 1163. It is before the Senate Law and Justice Committee Tuesday, March 25, 8 a.m. Please, please, please sign in. Do whatever you can do. We will take anything that you can do to help us out. Just sign in opposition. We're going to link the whole bill up below so that you guys can geek out on it for yourself. You don't have to take our word for how terrible it is. If you got any other questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights here in Washington, you should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information's down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video, you click on that link right there and tell us all about it. If you want to subscribe to the monthly newsletter, the ability to do that's down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.